Welcome to Lesson 67, Part 1. Word problems involving masses of objects, pages 7 and 8. Right, so our content objective for 4th grade MD measurement data A2. I can use the 4 operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, to solve word problems involving measurement, including simple fractions and decimals. Language objective, I can use important numbers and keywords to solve problems involving masses of objects. Social objective, I can work with others to create models which prove the solutions to the masses of objects word problems. Alright, so here we're looking at masses of objects, often talked about as weight, because that's how we measure it usually on Earth, having to do with the weight of an object. So here we want to figure out how many pounds are in 7 ounces and 9 ounces. Well, 1 pound, and LB stands for pound, is 16 ounces. Seven ounces plus 9 ounces. Well, 7 plus 9 is 16 ounces. So if I have 16 ounces, that is equal to 1 pound. Here, 1 pound take away 13 ounces. These are not equal units, so I have to change my 1 pound into 16 ounces so that I can subtract and see how many ounces are left. So 16 ounces take away 13 ounces. Well, 16 take away 13. The difference between those, it's only 3 away. So I have 3 ounces left over. They have to be the same units. Here I have 3 pounds 9 ounces plus 9 more ounces. We want to figure out how many pounds and ounces that is in total. So again, 1 pound is 16 ounces. So if I have 3 pounds, 9 ounces plus 9 more ounces, I'm going to add the same units. 9 plus 9 is 18 ounces. Well, inside those 18 ounces, I could take out a group of 16 and move it over and make a pound. So if I take away 16 ounces, that is equivalent to 1 pound. So I can add that 1 pound over here. So 18 ounces, take away the 16 ounces, leaves 2 ounces. Now I'm going to move those 16 ounces, which are equal to 1 pound, over to the pounds. So I end up with 4 pounds, 2 ounces. Okay. We're going to be using this chart to help us solve the problems below. There are 5 babies born at Mercy Hospital on Tuesday. The nurse records the birth weight of each baby in pounds and records the data in the table to the right. So this is how much they weighed in pounds. We're going to use that table to help us solve the problem. Okay, and we're going to have to use our cubes to help us out. Now, much of our numbers are already in the chart, but let's see what the question is looking for. How much more does Rebecca weigh than Justine? So the 2 names we're looking for are Rebecca and Justine. We want to know how much more. That is a comparison. That is a difference. What is the difference between their weights? Difference is subtraction, so we're going to be subtracting here. So here we have our bar diagram, also called a tape diagram. Rebecca is 7 9/100 pounds. Justine is 6 93/100 pounds. So we need to figure out our difference. To figure out the difference, we need to subtract. Okay, so this is what the equation would look like. Right now, it may be difficult for you to subtract that way, so we'll write it vertically. Make sure your ones are lined up, your decimals are lined up, your tenths, and your hundredths. If your decimals are lined up, every other place should be. We have more on top, no need to stop. More on the floor, go next door, regroup 10 more. 10 take away 9 is 1. Bring down our decimal. Number is the same, 0 is the game. So that is the difference. Our difference is 16/100 of a pound. Okay, now to complete our answer, Rebecca is 16/100 of a pound more than Justine. Next, how much do the 5 babies weigh all together? So we want all together. That means we do not know the total. And that means we're going to either add or multiply. So let's look at all the weights. We have 6 74/100, 7 9/100, 6 38/100, 7 600, 6 93/100. All of those are different amounts. We're joining together unequal numbers, so we're going to add. So the key here is to line up those decimals. Because if you notice, 7 6/10 looks a little different. We need a placeholder here because 60/100 is the same as 6/10. You know, it's a lot to fit in that little space. Okay, 9 plus 4 is 13, plus 8 is 21, plus 3 is 24. Seven plus 2 is 9, plus 3 is 12, plus 6 is 18, plus 9 is 27. Bring down our decimal. 6 plus 7 is 13, plus 6 is 19, plus 7 is 26, plus 6 is 32, plus 2 is 34. So the total weight of all 5 babies is 34 24 pounds. Okay. Next one. How much more less? That's an interesting way to phrase it. Does the lightest baby weigh than the heaviest baby? So we're trying to, I think that's supposed to say how much less, not more. But either way, we are comparing, so it is going to be a difference. Whenever it's more, longer, shorter, heavier, whenever we're finding that comparison, that difference, we subtract. So we're looking at the lightest baby, so we need the least number, and the heaviest baby, the greatest number. So let's see, 6 pounds would be the least one, and then we have 7/10, 3/10, 9/10. So that means Porter is our lightest baby. So we have 6 pounds, 38 ounces. And then our heaviest baby, well, let's see, we have 7 pounds, 7 pounds. And I'm going to put it, I have that placeholder there to better compare because I have 900ths and 60/100ths. Well, 60/100ths is greater. So Mario's our heaviest baby at 7 pounds, 6/10 of a pound. So our difference is 7 6/10. Take away 6 3/8. I'm sorry, 38/100ths. So if we line up our decimals, we have a problem here because we have nothing above the 8. That's where having that placeholder is important. And putting that placeholder here, 6 dimes is the same as 60 pennies. So I did not change the value of that number at all. We have more on the floor. Go next door, regroup 10 more. More on top, no need to stop. More on top, no need to stop. 10 take away 8 is 2. 5 take away 3 is 2. Bring down my decimal. 7 take away 6 is 1. So the difference in weight from the lightest baby and the heaviest baby is 1 22/100 pounds. So the lightest baby weighs 1 22 pounds less than the heaviest baby. Our last one. Okay, when Mariah is 2 months old, she weighs twice. Twice is important because that means 2 times as much as she did at birth. How much does Mariah weigh at 2 months? Okay, so she weighs 2 times. So let's see what she weighed at birth. Did I say Mariah? Myra weighs 6 74/100ths. So twice, I could either add it to itself or multiply by 2 because I'm joining together equal amounts. So to figure out how much she weighs at 2 months, I could multiply by 2, or I could add 6 74/100ths to itself. I'm going to go ahead and add, but you could multiply. It would work the same. Make sure you line up your ones, your decimals, your tenths, and your hundredths. So we get 8, 14, bring down my decimal. 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13. So at 2 months, she weighed 13 48/100 pounds. Okay, now that I have practiced on this side, let's go ahead and do some more part 2 in our 3-column notes.